Morning. How do I feel about today? Humans, huh? How many of you have pit bulls? How many of you treat them like a child? How many of you relate to them more than you can relate to another human? This is a big hill. I don't know what the elevation is, but one of these days I'm gonna get my Fitbit, my shoes, and my elevation thingamabob with the app and record my running and my agilities. But anyway, outside subject. Humans and what we deem unnecessary or feel overwhelmed. Okay, getting this yourself or whatever. Putting up with humans. Okay. Can you even see that tower? Oh, we can't zoom like that. All right, never mind. Oh. Damn, what was I gonna say? See, that's why I had to record these things. Or I can pray to remember. Anyway. Alright, I think I got it. You know that saying, when all of us who care for humans or have empathy or sympathy, who are too nice that other people take kindness. Not that, I'm not talking about that, but when you try to help somebody, but they can't help themselves because they literally are basically choosing not to help themselves, okay? All right, now we know how hard that is, how heavy that burden is to get ourselves to quit doing a certain habit or a addiction or people, okay? Attachments, your kindness, your empathy, but people take advantage of it, right? Continue to take advantage of it without even knowing. Let's say alcoholism. Sometimes some people, I've seen them, how bad they are. I haven't been that bad, but I understand because I had boundaries. But I've seen them not willing to go to the hospital when they should, and it's emergency. But I know that feeling of, but I'm not gonna be able to drink anymore. You know what I mean? I smoke because I'd rather be stoned than blank behind a driver's steering wheel. Anyway, I'm almost up at the top. But I run, I do long distance, I exercise. I took advantage of my life, and every time I was incarcerated, I made a promise to not come out the same, to come out smarter, fit, long distance, or really buff, you know. Either way, I was gonna come out something, not the same, because all my charges were operating while intoxicated, drug drivers, but all before, 2008, between 2000 and 2008, I was lower 20s, 20, 23, but I know what I felt like to, oh man, I don't want to go to the hospital and get fixed or get changed or get help or get healed because I won't be able to drink. And I've seen some alcoholics do that, right? There's probably with other addictions too. I never tried those bigger things like needles or heroin or crack or whatever. Yeah, or barbiturates. Those are my boundaries. Bad guys got rules too. Some things we just don't do, or we just don't do that kind of work because we're smart or scared. Either way. So toxicity is one of them. People with Why do you just hang on? You have to. And the phone has a wind block. But the saying is, you can't help an alcoholic until they choose to, right? So, you'll hurt yourself more trying to help them than they are doing to themselves already. I know that. I had 12 best friends. 7 of them are gone, and I helped 12 of them try to beat alcoholism. And I've heard their cries, heard their sincerities, but they couldn't beat it, man. The car wrecks or alcoholism killed them. My brothers, man. Our families didn't get along, but we got along. We understood each other, but our families made us be apart because of governmental politics and other witchcraft shit. Anyway, so that is true. But I was willing to keep doing it. I had no problem because I was looking at the unfortunate predicaments and circumstances and saw what I could do, and I did it. I hurt myself, but I was strong. Not many can do what I can do. And I hope I'm not the only one. But anyway, toxic relationships, same thing. You know, y'all are just arguing every day. How many times a week? And it'll be because you won't tell your last secret to each other. So, you get what I mean? You know, but toxic relationships, or those relationships where you got people, family members that care for you, and you care for them, but you care for them more than they know, because they don't know how to care for others as much as you, or we don't judge. So, but you know that they could be better off with a better person because the one person's whatever, in it for themselves, but they don't know that. Sure, they're in the wrong, but we can't hold them against that. We only can, I guess, avoid or ignore, but not ignore, because we'll keep thinking of ways, keep thinking of solutions. So sometimes when you see somebody, you hold your tongue, you bite, like with beliefs. But sometimes you can say, you know, you'd be a lot happier if you're by yourself. Some things just need to start anew. 85% of the population is single, divorced, separated. 85% of the population has an identity crisis. You know, 85% of the country has severe depression and don't know it. 85% of the country are sociopathic. 85% of the country, the millennials, are Wiccan or more. Social distortion, it's chaos after death, after, AD. So, looks like a big plan to me, especially with all the foods, ingredients, and everything else. And all the strongest and oldest religions are the ones that are being attacked. All right. Anyway, stay humble, stay kind, stay positive. Be hungry for life and that positive life. Be hungry and be the opponent against yourself. Because there's a dark you and there's a light you. Which one do you want to win? Which one are you at peace? Or you can just keep lying to yourself and say, oh, I don't need that. I don't want that. As a man, I can't be like that. We're all men. When did your balls drop off?